Hey y'all, welcome back. This is the 1ELEVENSHOW, and I am the host, Melly. Got my boy CeeLo here with me, and I got Chaz with
Okay.
me. And this is episode 4 officially. We gave y'all a little draft live situation, but this is officially episode 4. And I want to thank y'all, those who've been rocking with us. We up to 52 subscribers on YouTube right now, so I love all y'all. Before we get into this, I'm gonna tell y'all again, like I do every video, subscribe, like the videos. It's free. Comment what you think. It support the channel.
You're
It helps the channel. And I love y'all. For those who've been commenting, liking stuff, sharing it, I love y'all. But right now, I'm gonna give y'all a little question before we hop into the sports. Now, we all been different places, but where was the first place you experienced culture shock? Y'all want me to kick it off or? All right, man. So I went to school in Kenosha, Wisconsin for my freshman year of college. Now, I
Go
went to
ahead.
EK. We had everything there. When I went to Wisconsin, it was a lot less people that looked like me. And then I took a stop at Hope before I actually came to Davenport with y'all boys. Took a stop at Hope. And I thought Kenosha was different. It's different there. I think the only other black people that was on the football team was the Squirrels. Now, yeah, it was exactly. Well, no, it was just like sprinkles here and there. But I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I feel like I'm in trouble. Like I ain't supposed to be here. I don't belong, bro. It made me feel nervous, bro. Like I'm in the classes. It still ain't nobody that look like me. I'm like, dog, this is crazy. But God had a plan for me, and He put me at DU with y'all where I was supposed to be this whole time. So I don't know who want to take it next. CeeLo, Chaz, have at it.
CeeLo, go ahead, bro. Talk to me.
So the first time I experienced culture shock was moving from Detroit to Lansing. Believe it or not, that was a huge move. I ain't gonna lie to you. Outside of like TV and maybe at a convenience store here and there, moving to Lansing was the first time I seen a lot of white people all at once. Just being real with you, inner city Detroit kid, grew up there from birth till about 13 years old. I had not seen very many white people. I think the school that I came out of, we had one white kid, and it was like he was popular because he was the only white kid there. He didn't even speak to nobody.
Lansing,
So
huh?
Detroit to Lansing was a huge culture shock to me. I had never been around so many different people all at one time before then.
I feel it. I feel it. All right, mine is kind of similar to yours, Caleb. Mine was when I went to high school. Um, Coming from the city, it's probably 70% black. We had a lot of Hispanics, Asians, white people, all that. Went to high school, 98% white. Bro, they couldn't understand the way I talked.
Not Riverdale,
Every
okay.
time I said something, they're like, "What? What? Come again?" So I'm culture shocked like crazy. It's like Riverdale, bro. It's like they dropped me in the show of Riverdale, bro.
Literally.
Or any like Disney movie. Think of any High School Musical, all that, bro.
And I
And
was
I'm
just
the
Yeah,
only
black,
black kid out there,
yeah,
bro.
bro.
That's it. Me
just a
and my
black.
family, Culture shock like crazy out there, coming out there with 22s on
But
the
yeah, I
bins,
wanted to do
pulling
that
up to
so the
school.
audience and the listeners get to
Talk
know
about
y'all a
culture
little bit
shock,
more.
bro.
I know
That
we
was
just
culture shock.
hopped on camera,
Everybody
we
wearing
start
khakis
recording,
and puka
and
shells,
y'all know
bro,
nothing
and
about us.
Hollister.
Like why y'all should listen to us. So hopefully y'all feel a little bit more closer to us as listeners. We are, as of now, or as of 2 days ago, we on Apple Music too. So Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts, we is there now. But we got some black history. Speaking of shocks, Lamar is now the richest player in the history of the NFL, a black man. Now let's get into these details. He signed a 5-year, $26 million contract with the Ravens. $185 million of that guaranteed. 52 M's a year. And he said there's gonna be a whole lot of flock going on. I hope they can protect the boy. They scooped him up a little weapon in Zay Flowers. But hey, I'm happy for Lamar. MVP, he got paid like an MVP. And the Ravens treating him like they want him there for the long haul. Spending that much money, you're gonna be there for the long haul. And they better keep assisting my boy on that offensive defensive side of the ball, surrounded him with good stuff. But I want y'all to weigh in on this. I want y'all thoughts. Facts.
Hey, it's about time, bruh. That's all I got to say. It's about time. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say about it. It's about time. He should have been got paid. Like I said, he's an MVP, man. Like what MVPs haven't been paid in the NFL? You know what I mean? Why did it take him so long? So I think he's gonna have another MVP caliber season coming up this
Ooh,
year. He got weapons.
ooh.
They got him a weapon. He got he got
I'm
a
gonna throw
old
this in there,
weapon and a new
Chaz, too, before
weapon.
you go.
And
Self,
hopefully,
his own
the
agent.
supporting cast can stay
He's his own
healthy
agent.
because that's gonna help him out a lot. But I'm calling it now. Lamar gonna be MVP candidate for this next season.
And yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna stay on that same type of wavelength with you, Caleb.
The
Picture,
script
audio and
Audio,
was
picture.
flipped,
All right,
audio,
you
and
back.
picture.
You back, Melly. Run that
where
back for
we
me one
saw
time. You got froze
Bryce
for a
Young,
second there, right before you
who
got the
they,
question.
they said he was too short. They were talking about everything but football. Anthony Richardson, the project guy, the super superior athlete, freak genetics. CJ Stroud, extremely accurate, decorated, 2-time Heisman finalist, Ohio State quarterback. And I'm gonna throw this other thing on top of that. Bryce Young was the first Alabama quarterback to go number 1 overall. And then we got to get to the guy, not the elephant in the room, but the guy who stayed in the room, Will Levis. Now we got a lot to unpack. Now, I want to start with number 1, Bryce Young. Now, I know you gotta critique a number 1 pick and a guy who's gonna be a number 1 pick, but in my opinion, they was going super hard on his stature. I get it, he's slight. He was 204 pounds at the combine, but they saying he gonna get hurt. You don't know if he gonna take the hits. The league is set up to keep quarterbacks on the field. We saw all the roughing the passer penalties last year. They want to keep these QBs on the field, but we've seen all of these top premier quarterbacks get dinged up. We saw Tua, we saw Josh Allen, we saw Lamar Jackson miss time, we saw Justin Herbert miss time, we saw Joe Burrow tear his ACL in his first year. So it's more of a when is it going to happen than oh it's going to happen because he's small. It doesn't matter. These guys aren't built to get hit by 300-pound men that run 4.6s and all this other crazy stuff. So y'all weigh in on the Bryce Young situation, him going number 1.
Love that he went number 1 overall. I think that was the only prediction that stayed true. Coming up to draft day for the most part. I hate how going through like the combine and everything. You know, you had people saying, like you said, he was too short. Like, what does a short QB have to do with anything? Some of the best QBs in the NFL were short. You know what I mean? Some of the top gunslingers in the
That's
league were short QBs.
all right, man.
Um, Also, another thing, another negative about Bryce Young that they were saying was his bone structure. That they didn't like his bone structure, saying that his bone structure is the type to get injured very easily. Once again, does not I do not know what the bone structure has to do with playing the game of football. I'd like to understand that a little bit more because you see every athlete body type is different. And if he's out there banging in the SEC and he was getting hit, he did take some sacks. I mean, that's 60% of the league right there, SEC
Ain't
guys.
that?
But I love the fact Bryce Young went number one overall, representing for the Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. So I feel like it's good that Bryce went to Carolina. I do feel like they're not a bad fit for him. With coaching, with ownership, with surrounding pieces are gonna, he's gonna need some help um in the receiver department. But we know that they got an O line that'll take care of them.
Defense is giving up
He
the
went
amount of
out.
points they did. I want to go to the Tennessee game specifically where it was a shootout. Usually, you don't see Bama in these type of dog fights until it's for an SEC title or until they're in the national championship. The last team I really seen them go up and down the field with was a Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson Clemson team where he beat Jalen Hurts on the last drive, and it looked like a movie script, something out of Hollywood. So him to Hunter Renfro. So I'm like, y'all go into that, and they was trying to give him the Doug Flutie treatment, where like, oh, he's short, blah 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 blah, but all he did was make plays and continue to win. I'm like, and it's not like he was in Conference USA or the Sun Belt. Respect to them conferences, but he's in the for the vast majority of people the hardest conference in
Yeah.
America, and all he did was win a Heisman and break all the records at the school. So like you said, I feel like this is the most pressure that was put on an Alabama quarterback that we've seen in years. Usually, it's just don't mess up the game.
Facts.
Just don't turn the ball over. So for them to be critical, I get it. He's a number one pick, but go ahead, Chet. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, one last thing I want to add about Bryce Young. Hey, here's a hot
For the
take.
NFC
You may not
South
agree with
Qs.
me. I'm saying it right now. Bryce Young, with no NFL film yet, is the best QB in the NFC South right now.
He's a short guy too. Baker Mayfield.
NFC South quarterbacks: Desmond Ritter,
If you got to beat out
Baker
Derek
Mayfield,
Carr at the
Derek
top
Carr.
spot,
Bryce Young.
no film.
Hey, no arguments here.
Okay.
No arguments here.
Okay. Now, how we feeling about CJ?
Yeah,
Number 2 overall.
legit. That's it.
No film, no. He don't got no film. I'm already saying he the best QB in the NFC South.
I think we might have a Houston fan in here.
Yes, sir. Let's go,
Yeah.
nigga.
Maybe a small
Oh.
Houston fan. Yeah. But congrats to Bryce and CJ. Now, the next QB who was taken off the board, freak athlete.
Yeah.
And Chaz was advocating for on the last pod. Now, I believe, and I don't doubt his ethic. He wants to win. You can see it. I feel like he wants to get better. That's the thing.
Yes,
He
sir.
wants to get better. And I feel like he has to seek that out just as much as the Colts have to put it on him. I know he said he wanted to be a day one starter, but he has to seek out that improvement, and I think he is going to be a problem with his physical gifts.
All right.
Now, you can't run away from everybody, and you can't take unnecessary hits, but I believe if him and Jonathan Taylor in that run game, and they scheme up some runs, they put some stuff in for his strengths. They don't make him think too much. They kind of shorten it up. Don't make him, you gotta turn and make these throws and do all this kind of stuff, because it's still gonna be a work in progress, especially if you're trying to start him day one. You're gonna have to play to his strengths with stuff he's comfortable with. Not saying he's incompetent, but just stuff he's comfortable with, so he could play
Yep.
facts.
Yeah, bro. Let me tackle this first, Caleb.
Go ahead.
Because this is my guy, man. I stood on the table and I told y'all that he should be the first quarterback taken. And I also stood on the table and I said the quarterbacks who succeed are going to be the ones that go to good organizations. I said Hendon Hooker and DTR will probably get drafted late, therefore go to better teams. But you take a step back and you look at it. Look at the Colts in the past. This was really their only bad year. Year before that, Carson Wentz loses to Jacksonville in Jacksonville to miss out on the playoffs. Besides that, they in the playoffs every year. This is a good organization. And you want to know why it just got better? They just hired Shane Steichen to be their head coach.
Yep.
I don't know if the listeners are familiar with Shane Steichen's work, but maybe you watched the Super Bowl. Maybe you seen Jalen Hurts. Yeah, his OC, that guy. So this is why I believe AR can be a day one starter, right?
Yeah.
You can protect him with a crazy run game with Jonathan Taylor. And also, what's a quarterback's best friend? RPO. Shane Steichen is a master. It's about to be a master class in Indy. I think this is a great fit. Yeah, I'm all in AR-15. I'm all in.
Hey, I love that. I don't got nothing but positive to say about it. There's two things that pick told me about the Colts organization. Is one, that they really care about Jonathan Taylor, because drafting AR-15 is like load management for JT. Like,
Facts.
that's gonna take, like, I'm not hoping that, Anthony gets hit a lot or anything like that, but that RPO, having that option, is going to take a lot of hits off of JT, and it'll be able to have him there for a longer period of time than what, the typical running back stint is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that pick tells me, is that they
I think
really
it's gonna work
love
both
Jonathan
ways.
Taylor and they care about him. They're like, okay, dude, we gonna take some hits off of you. We gonna get some different looks for you, and we gonna open up this offense for you so you can get another rushing title. And then yeah,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, absolutely. And then number two,
I
I
don't
see
think
the
he
Colts
ducking it. I
like,
think he embracing it.
hey, bud, you're coming to play right now. Like, they
Right
drafted
away.
him in, like, hey, bud, you're coming to play right now.
Right
Gonna
away.
raise the ceiling a little bit.
Like,
He put
no
some
question.
air on that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
I
look
don't think.
here,
Yeah,
man. Before we get into this
hey,
next
they
one,
better
I like the Will
open up
Anderson
Lucas
pickup
Oil
by the
Stadium. He's
Texans.
gonna be hitting them
You know,
rafters.
him and Tyree Wilson, they was talking about like a speed difference, and he won. I feel like on the edge, you got to be physical. You playing in NFC South, you're gonna see a lot of run game.
Yep.
Because of the quarterback play. So you're gonna need a Will Anderson to set that edge. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's the proven guy. I'm a believer. I like the pickup. I think D'Amico. I believe in D'Amico because I'm a 49ers fan and he was our D coordinator. So I'm gonna go with his vision. I'm gonna go with what he wants to put in that D line on that front seven. And I think it's a step in the right direction. I got QB
Football
right
just
now.
got a lot better too, because we get to see Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud bang against each other twice a year, and then we throw Trevor Lawrence in there, bruh.
It's fire.
Yeah. And then watch
I
what
don't think they'll
happens.
be that
Watch what
high.
happens. So Tennessee not gonna have a great season, I don't think. Watch them draft Caleb Williams, QB, next year.
They ain't gonna be that
Hey,
bad, bro. They ain't
hey,
gonna be
I'm
that
just
bad.
saying, this is just a prediction, but it could happen. Tennessee tank,
must see
draft
TV
Caleb Williams. Now you got Caleb Williams,
or
CJ
not.
Stroud, AR-15, and Trevor Lawrence in the AFC South. That's a heck of a. If you think about that, that's going to be a crazy division if that happens. But I hope they
Yeah, I don't
develop
think
Malik
he's
Willis. I'm
out
not
there
counting
shape.
Malik Willis out just yet. I
No, me
hope
neither.
they will take time to develop him because, I mean, he was crazy from last year's combine. So I still got high hopes for him.
Last point on that Will Anderson pickup. Um, D'Amico is
A
building
winner.
from scratch here, and Will Anderson is the type of guy, character that's gonna matter early on in this rebuild of this franchise. And with him coming out that Bama locker room, being a team captain at Bama, just like D'Amico, they gonna see eye to eye, and it's gonna click. So he gonna be the future of the defense. Y'all hopefully found the future of the offense. H Town rocking. Y'all still a little brother to
H-Town
Big
Yeah,
D.
I
winner.
like the
Y'all still a
direction they going
little
in
brother,
Houston,
but
man.
H Town
They made some
rocking.
good moves
Y'all had a
this
great
year.
draft
If
for
y'all
sure.
tuned into the last
Great
H-Town
pod,
draft.
in
they
there.
was going crazy.
We in
You know what I'm
there.
saying? They was used to make some crazy moves, man. But we gonna get into this
We in
next
there.
pick because they just started round 2. But let's get into this next pick. Devin Witherspoon. I feel like that's a classic. That's a classic move by the Seahawks. I don't want to go too crazy into that. They've got an old lineman, Tyree Wilson.
Oh, they sure did. Pittsburgh is on the clock.
Yeah, this a Pete Carroll type of guy. This a Pete
All
Carroll
I
type of
said
draft
was
pick. He a
Seattle is
extremely
trying to
physical corner if you
recreate the
cut on the
Legion
tape.
of Boom
Extremely
2.0.
physical corner.
Legion of Boom 2.0 with that pick.
And you know what conference they in, so you're gonna have to be. No.
Yeah, I don't think absolutely gonna have to be. He a run stopper.
Cardinals get
He
some
can cover.
protection for
He gonna
Kyler
come
with Paris
bang.
Johnson
Hey,
Jr.
he gonna help set the tone for the
And that
Seahawks
was a
defense.
trade
And
from
now they got a
Detroit.
1-2 punch at corner with him and Tariq Woolen on the other side. So yep, good pick.
We gonna get to Detroit too after. We gonna get to
Big dog. Big dog in the mix.
good pickup for Kyler. You know what I'm saying?
Detroit.
We need a
Big
healthy
dog in the
Kyler. We
mix.
need
Hey,
him
gotta shout
on
out
the
them
field.
offensive
Too good
linemen,
of a player
man.
to be injured.
Love when they go in the
Now
first
he's
round.
running for his life too. Now the Raiders, where a lot of people thought they were going to go DB with Christian Gonzalez, pick up an edge rusher and Tyree Wilson. I thought that was interesting. They must be content with the quarterback play because are they trying to build a defense up? I guess that's the philosophy. But your guy Chaz, who you wanted, Bijan, went 8 to the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Go ahead, go crazy.
Them dirty bird. Them dirty birds, man. Them dirty birds. Can I talk B John for a
They
second
got a
here?
bell cow.
This is great for B John. This is great for the Falcons. Arthur Smith, we all know his philosophy. This is the guy who built the offense for Derrick Henry, right? Look at the outsides. Big, physical. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Big guys. Now you got a bell cow back to run that offense. Whoo. The issue I'm seeing is a whole bunch of idiots who don't know football talking about the
You take a
positional
look.
value is bad. You don't take a running back top 10. You do if you feature a running back in your offense. If your offense is built to run the ball
Check it
40
out.
times a game, you absolutely take a running back top 10. Why would you not? If you're going to make him the most or second most
Check
important
it out.
person on your
Because
offense, you
he is
absolutely
not
draft him
just
top 10, especially
he's
a guy
not
like him.
Derrick Henry is great in his own right. Don't get
So
me
stop
wrong.
repeating that dumb
But
positional value
Bijan is more
argument.
of
It's
a
stupid.
All
Christian
facts.
McCaffrey type
All facts.
who's a weapon and can be a little bit more positionless. Yes, he's primarily a running back, but with a young quarterback, they're going to need somebody to get quick, easy passes to in the open field We saw what he can do. Cut the tape on. Check the man out in the open field. He making people look silly. I know it's college athletes, but you're gonna have to catch the man. You're gonna have to get. And he shouted out God, so he probably my favorite running back in the draft. He said he paying his ties. Yes. He also
Instantly.
already
Great
had
man.
a Lambo in college.
What he say? He was like,
already,
I want to
you know,
give.
so
Well, he said he wanted to
been
tithe
there.
first. That was going to be his first big purchase. Was
Yeah.
tithing. Shout out to
Shout
B John, man. But
now, who I thought the Lions should have taken,
yeah, I mean,
and stayed right where they was at 6,
everyone
drafted him,
down there.
Jalen Carter, to the Philadelphia Eagles or the Philadelphia Bulldogs, the Georgia Eagles, whatever you want to call them. You know, now you got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter next to each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody talking about stopping the run.
Yeah. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. As you can tell, you look at my shirt, you see it. You see, I
Nope.
had to
You
deal
don't see him
with
twice a
Jalen
year.
Carter on the same D line as Jordan in the playoffs 2 years ago. I'm like, sheesh, good thing I never got to see that again. And then you look up and you see I got a Cowboy star on my hat, and now I got to see it twice a year, probably 3 times in the playoffs.
Oh, Caleb, you want to weigh in on this?
Why? How do the rich just keep getting richer? How? How do we let this happen in NFL? It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Not very much.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
Not very
Please.
much I got to say about the Lions, dude. There's a reason why they have not gone anywhere in the amount of years that they've been existing. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I was bro. I literally said it every round. I'm like, man, if they don't get Jalen Carter, they stupid, man. After the first 3 picks, I didn't understand it, dude. Like literally, that is where Detroit struggles at the most, is that interior defensive line and that second level with them linebackers, bro.
We called it out on the pre-pod.
Bro, defensive lineman, bro.
Melly, go ahead, kick off the Lions talk. Go ahead.
Jalen
I know you got something to say.
9, the Bears obviously needed to protect Justin Fields because he's getting sacked every play and he's running for his life every play. So they had no choice. Also, the Titans had no choice but to draft the O-lineman because they've been having issues with Taylor Lewan being injured. So they needed to run the ball. So they needed an O-lineman. And then you get to 12. You trade it down to 12. And you draft a running back. I love you too, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm excited to have you in Detroit. But we could have gotten you and Jalen Carter. Because these teams I'm looking at who is picking, they needed exactly what they needed. They weren't picking up a running back. Who am I looking at next? Who possibly after that? The Packers?
6 and 18.
No, they're not drafting another running back.
The whole blueprint is laid out for you.
Because they are a winning franchise. All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers, absolutely not. They have Najee. So they need to get an offensive tackle to run the ball with Najee, their running back. Then who's up after that? Jets. They had another edge rusher. They didn't need a running back because they drafted Breece Hall, as Caleb just stated. The Commanders, they definitely weren't drafting a running back.
Don't need them. Just draft Breece Hall.
And the Patriots, absolutely not. You wouldn't have bet on it. Bill Belichick was drafting no running back. And then we get to 18.
No way.
If you wanted Jahmyr Gibbs or if you wanted Jack Campbell, I guarantee you they could have got Jack Campbell.
Not a
today.
Chance, bro.
And if you wanted Jahmyr Gibbs that bad, you could have got him at 18. I don't know what's up. So did somebody get left out the group chat? That, you know what I'm saying? Did they think Jalen Carter was gone already? I don't know. But
Facts.
go Niners.
Yo, this is the thing, bro. Anytime Detroit has a chance to blow it, they will find a
Dude.
way to blow it.
Oh,
How do you sit at 6-18 and you got Jalen Carter on the board, right? You trade away, you duck smoke, and you let Jalen Carter go to the best team in the NFC, a team who pounced you last year, and most likely,
dude.
if you have any playoff hopes, is going to pounce you again. Probably
40
shut you
ball.
out now. What are we doing? What are we doing here? You got to make it make sense, right? Jack Campbell is a day 2 prospect. No one was taking Jack Campbell.
And I
Jahmyr
don't know.
Gibbs, Melly just named every single team in between. He was there for you. How do you fumble this? I don't know. I don't know how you fumble it. I don't know how you do it.
Dude.
There's something to say about if you want a player, you got to just go get him, right? Like Dallas, we sat back and we let the Bills snatch our tight end
Shout out to
Dalton
Mozzie,
Kincaid
man.
from us.
DR.
Yeah.
I don't care what Jerry
Falcons.
Jones says. We were going to draft Kincaid. He says I had a higher grade on Mozzie. I love Mozzie, but no, you didn't. No, you didn't. If you want that player, you got to go get him in this draft, bro. And Detroit, they duck smoke, bro. They got a lot of picks today, round 2. We're taping this on Friday, round 2. They got to make these count. Today they have to make round 2 and round 3 count because day 1 they blew it. Give them a D, C minus if I'm being generous because
He
I
would have
do
been there.
like
Now
Gibbs a lot.
Yeah.
I do want to
And Captain
reiterate.
Jack Campbell, he's a baby
Who?
Dan Campbell in his mentality, and he'll be a good fit, but he'd have been
Did
there.
they?
So that's my grade. C minus D.
Did
Come on, Detroit.
Kentucky just grab Will Levis?
Hold on.
Or not
They
Kentucky, I
did?
mean Tennessee. Did Tennessee just grab Will Levis?
Wow.
I think Tennessee just grabbed Will
All
Levis,
right.
bro.
This is
Tennessee just grabbed Will Levis. He's the second pick of the second round.
Wow. Wow. Hey,
Talk to me,
well,
Caleb. How do you feel about it? Go
hey,
ahead.
well, that blows my Caleb Williams tanking and getting to the AFC South prediction right there.
I told you they got too much pride to take a year. Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Well, I mean, and then that gives, hey, so that means Malik really has to show out and bang with a media superstar. I mean, if we think about it, Malik Willis and Will Levis, Malik Willis and Will Levis had similar media hypes. They had
They did.
similar media hypes. So
They did.
I think I'm gonna take what Acho said, Emmanuel Acho. They got 2 social media quarterbacks now. Who's gonna be better?
Yeah.
They got 2 social media quarterbacks. Who's gonna be better, man? That's cool.
I will
Detroit's got
say this about Levis. I was proud yesterday. Not because that came off wrong. Not because I don't like Will Levis, right? Not because I'm hating on Will in any way, but you just see the media pushing Will Levis, top 5 pick, Will Levis, top 10 pick, undoubted,
right.
Will Levis, Will Levis. And me
they
and
ain't
you,
watch
Caleb,
ESPN.
and Melvin, and A. Scott, and
They ain't
everybody
listen to Mel
sat on this
Kiper.
show and said he is not a round 1 prospect.
No.
So I am proud that the NFL scouts, right, the GMs, are not just swayed by the media
Yeah.
because sometimes it can feel like they
Facts.
are, but it makes me happy to
Not
know
Chaz.
that they're not at the
Yeah,
end of the
they are
day.
not. That
When
they
they
really
do dumb
don't.
stuff, they truly believe the dumb
Not
stuff they
Chaz.
do. Brad Holmes.
Yeah.
But
Mel
yeah,
Kiper.
that made me proud yesterday to
Bro.
understand that okay,
For sure.
we do know a little bit more about football than ESPN for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not want to see him in the first one. I didn't want to see him before any of the QBs that got drafted yesterday. Yeah, that would have been very upsetting to me. I knew it. They didn't
Bro,
draft him
let's
first round.
talk about it. Talk about it. Go ahead.
Dude, so you guys don't know who's tapping into the podcast. I texted my group chat a day before the draft. I said, I'm scared Detroit is going to draft a tight end in the first round. They did
Mm-hmm.
not. They did
Mayor.
not. But look at who they draft.
Oh.
First, their
They
first pick
waited till
in
the
the second
All right,
fifth
hold
round,
on, hold
minute,
on, Caleb. Hold on,
of
Caleb.
the second round to
Hold
do
on,
so.
Caleb.
and they
'Cause-
grabbed
Hold
another
on, hold on, hold on.
tight end from
Iowa,
Iowa, man. So
the
they
Detroit
had,
Hawkeyes.
yeah, man, they had Hawkinson. This is very predictable
It is.
after trading Hawk.
Was it not top 10? What was it, like 6, 7, or 5th overall? Some top
Yeah.
5. In their first 3 draft picks, they go a running back and a tight end and one interior linebacker.
Yeah, man.
It's like I hate to hammer home this Jalen Carter thing, but how do you not take him?
Yeah.
If you know you want a tight end too, like, bro, you have to take care of your holes, bro.
Absolutely.
And y'all biggest holes are on the defensive side of the ball. The
I think they
offense was
trying to.
feasible.
They probably trying to outscore
Especially
people.
if you're not bringing in a new quarterback right now.
Hey y'all, but I'm
stacking
hey,
weapons
bro.
for what?
Exactly.
You're already a good
Bro.
offense. I don't like the pick.
I don't either.
He's a good
feel
player.
like you can get
don't
a
get me
tight end
wrong,
anytime,
but I don't
bro.
like the pick.
I don't like the pick, but I understand the pick.
Yeah.
You filling a hole in the tight end room, but I think the defense is more. Defense
definitely
wins
had a defense.
championships. Let's be real.
It does.
Look at what happened in Kansas City Eagles. Defense won that championship for him. No knock to Mahomes and his arms, an incredible comeback, but I think Nick Bolton should have been that defensive MVP. Hey,
Yeah.
defense wins championships. Detroit needs to draft more defensive players. I don't know how many more picks do they have.
They got a few because I think they got a couple yesterday by trading back. So
okay,
I'm not sure
I
their
see
exact
they're
count.
farther back on.
Hold on, Chaz. Hold on, Chaz.
They got another pick after Washington in the second round. It needs to be a defensive player. Whoever's left, that's what it needs to be.
All right, so let's shift forward here a little bit. We seen no receivers get drafted yesterday until pick 20. It took a while.
I know.
And then we see 4 go in a row. Of those 4, tell me, who's your favorite receiver that came out yesterday?
So who was the 4? You got Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith, and Njigba.
Yep.
And who were the other
and
two?
We got Quentin Johnson.
Quinn Johnson was he at TCU, correct?
Yep, that was TCU's taller receiver. He's probably the biggest receiver in the draft. Best prospect, I would say.
Who was the 4th?
The 4th was slipping my mind. Hold on, I got you. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Jordan Addison.
Jordan
Addison,
Addison,
Minnesota.
USC.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Talk
to me about the fit and who you think will find success year 1.
Well, out of those 4 receivers out of the first round, I think that the Ohio State receiver, notorious. Those guys are notorious for balling out their first year for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think that he fits perfectly in the Pete Carroll's offense. I feel like that opens up a already highly targeted DK and already highly targeted Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
That opens up the run game for him a little bit more than what Kenneth Walker already did for himself. Because let's be real here, Seattle's offensive line, not that great.
Nope.
Not that great. So I think that Jackson is going to have the most success, but I'm not going to knock the hustle out of those USC guys. So Jordan Addison, hey man, Kirk will get you that ball if you running them 3-yard hitches and outs. Kirk gonna get him that ball. So I didn't see a lot of what Jordan Addison did at USC, but I mean he's playing with Caleb Williams. I'm sure that he probably can open up in space. So I think that helps out Justin Jefferson, who was highly targeted. So he has a target on his back coming into this season. Nobody wants to see him do what he did again.
Yeah.
So I feel those are my top two. Very true.
Before we go on, let me touch on Addison. I like the Addison fit because you're replacing Adam Thielen, who is no longer there,
Yep.
and
Forgot about that.
Addison was the Biletnikoff winner as the best receiver in the country 2 years ago at Pitt with Kenny Pickett. He helped make Kenny Pickett's name, and he went to USC, and his production fell off a lot because you're at USC, brand new offense. You got Mario Williams there with you too. Like you got other receivers, other targets, and Caleb is the type of guy who gonna really spread it around. So Addison's his numbers kind of hurt this year, but I still think he was still a good receiver. You know, he's a versatile receiver. You can move him around. He can play the slide. He can play the outside. But my favorite receiver, the one I think is going to find the most success this year, I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Flowers, Zay Flowers, and lands in Baltimore. I think Todd Monken, the new OC, is going to breathe life into this Baltimore offense, and he's going to be able to, use Flowers his speed and his versatility and his athleticism to get him
Okay.
open, get him screens, get the ball out of Lamar hand quick.
Yeah.
And I think Zay's gonna tear it up this year.
Okay. I get that. I like that for you. I don't like that for me though. The reason I say that is because I feel like I said I feel like Jackson is just a perfect fit for that offense. So
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be as much pressure for him to produce.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I got my pick from. I don't think there's going to be that much pressure for him to produce, which can open many doors for him. And I think by giving a rookie wide receiver that much productivity and a new scheme, new offense that I assume
Yep.
they're probably going to be running, there is a lot more room for failure than it is success. But hey, I want to see Baltimore ball. I want to see
Absolutely.
Lamar do well. Like I said earlier in the pod, he's probably gonna have an MVP caliber season. You said Super Bowl MVP, so hey, I hope that works out.
Within this contract, not this
Yeah,
year specifically, but within this contract that Lamar
oh,
signs,
yeah,
I think there's a Super Bowl MVP in there for him.
yeah. So I hope that all aligns for him. But for the sake of my pick, I want to be right. when we get to December, January, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, rookie of the year, Jackson Smith.
Yep. All
That's
right.
my pick.
I think it's time we transition out of draft talk.
Okay.
Um, I thought Melvin would be in here to go ahead and piggyback on some of these, but I think
Let's
it's time we talk NBA playoffs, bro. The Yawfs, Jimmy Buckets sends the Bucks home. An 8 seed over a 1 seed. This is a colossal upset. This is
For real.
something we do not see.
Don't see it.
Talk to me.
We don't see it,
Talk
man.
to me.
We don't see it. You like one. I have not paid very much attention to hoops at all this year,
Hmm.
so I didn't realize that Miami was losing like they were,
Yeah.
and they right down the road from me. Like, I didn't realize that they were losing like that. That is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Can
It's
we and like can we throw Jimmy in the MVP candidate race now? like,
I mean, I wish, but it's sadly a regular season award.
yeah,
But bro, how how do you feel like that, right? Oh wait, they didn't fail. Was was Drew Holiday, right? Somebody
or
who
like
was right there with
so
Giannis, averaging a
I
double double,
I get
yeah,
it. He missed
defending the
two
best
games,
perimeter player on the
but
other
it's
team.
still a fail.
You know, you talk about number twos. Anthony Davis is a number two. He'll get you 30 and 20. Brown's leading the league in assists. He needs a role.
Because
He
you
needs a role,
lost.
man. Like
yeah.
Bam is not a number two, bro. So let's give Jimmy some support.
Yeah, the second best player on the Heat, in my opinion, is Tyler Hero coming off the bench,
Yep.
and
And they're
that's
doing
not
this without Tyler right now.
yeah, and that's not enough. so, hey, one thing: does Jimmy Butler etch himself
There
into the
absolutely is.
Miami Heat organization, Mount Rushmore?
Oh, undoubtedly, no doubt. Who is it? We got D Wade, we
D
got
Wade.
Alonzo Mourning, we got Tim Hardaway, we got Bron,
Hey, Mount
Shaq,
Rushmore.
Shaq, Jimmy Bosch. He's the Mount Rushmore is 4.
Yeah.
Um,
So not yet. Does he have to win a championship first?